also create tables, and where can we create tables from? Or it has to be you that will create the tables?
No, it doesn't have to be me. So that's why I'm recording. If you're not talking, please put me on mute. If you're not talking, Zoom, be on mute, please. So I'll teach you guys how to create tables. And I'll create a table now. And let me just walk you through that right away.
So we should open our apps then.
Yeah, you can open your app or you can just, follow me.
Okay.
I'll suggest that you see what I'm doing first before
Okay.
can you see my screen?
I'm waiting for it. Yes.
Okay, so now instead of going through I just look for table. I start to search for table here. And I go to restaurant table list. Now they've created all these tables. They created 331 tables. Or let's say, yeah, about 331 tables, both for Lagos Bistro and Refresh Solutions. You know, so a restaurant table has to be assigned to a restaurant table group. And I'll tell you exactly what a table group looks like. We have a table group called Lagos Bistro. Now we can call this by the time we start using Lagos, by the time we create the Lagos Bistro account, we'll now be having table groups like downstairs, upstairs, VIP, So there are going to be different tables and in different areas, different table groups in different areas. And waiters or waitresses can be assigned to those different areas. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So under Lagos Bistro, if I click on this one now, you see the tables here. So all these tables are being put under this table group. All these tables are under Lagos Bistro.
Okay.
So the focus here is creating tables. So let's just go ahead and just, let me don't start boring you with too much information. So let's add restaurant table. It says which company. Now, if for instance, I create a restaurant table under Refresh Solutions and an employee is registered under Lagos Bistro, you can see that there are two companies here. There is
Yes.
no
Refresh
way
and Lagos.
they will have issues because the POS profile would not register what they won't be able to see any table. So we're working with Lagos Bistro now. And there's a possibility that when Lagos Bistro starts the account, they might have some companies under their own company. So they can only have one account and they can see different companies under their account. And that's why we are simulating that with Refresh Solutions.
Okay.
So Lagos Bistro Company, Lagos Bistro Restaurant, number of seats, let's say 10, minimum seating 1. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Current waiter. This is very, very important because sometimes people will just click save and that's it. If you click save, nobody will see this table. But current waiter, I come in here and I put Cynthia. I put Cynthia as a current waiter and I save. It has created table 321. 321. So now I can even go to restaurant table group list, go to Lagos Bistro and see what we have here. Let's see. Okay, see, Lagos 320. So I will now add Lagos Bistro 321.
And it will appear because you've created.
Yes, because I've created it. You can see it's there.
Also,
What do you say?
no, I was waiting for it to pop up.
Yeah, it's going to pop up because there were too many. I just, put the dash sign. So it's 321 and I've saved it. Now, you can create a table and put it in a different table group.
Okay.
So, but I'm putting this table group under Lagos Bistro because Lagos Bistro has been linked to Lagos Bistro Company. Okay, so refresh your app and see whether you will see this table.
321. Do I have access to that? Because I have access to table 9 and 13.
Yeah, no, check it out now. So go to dashboard and go back to tables. It will refresh.
I can see 21.
All right. So that table is now registered to you. Now, it's possible that you might decide you're a waitress and you say you're not working with Lagos Bistro
Okay, so
anymore.
this table appeared under mine because you used me as the waiter, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because I assigned the table to you, I used you as the waiter.
Okay.
So in the event that, and now remember that if this waiter doesn't come to work, nobody else can use this table unless they reassign this table to somebody else. So if they should change shifts, for instance, now, somebody has to go and reassign the tables to somebody else. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, for instance, they start a shift, and today's shift, Lagos Bistro has 10 tables, and those 10 tables have been assigned to 10 people. The following day, only 5 people come to work. The remaining 5 tables, nobody will be able to use the remaining 5 tables unless they reassign those 5 tables to the other 5 people
Available. Yeah.
that are available. That is because the whole idea is for us to restrict them to what they are doing. You should not be able to see what the next person is doing. You can only see what you are doing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, any questions so far?
Yes, I have a question. For Lagos Bistro 321, which you created for 10 persons, you said the person assigned to that table, once the person is not available, that the person should be reassigned to another person.
Yes.
So are you saying that for the person to be reassigned, will it be on the system that, like as you use Cynthia now, the name should be changed to like my name?
Yes.
Timothy.
Yes.
So when she's not ready to take her own shift, the name will not be rechanged again.
Yes, you have to reassess. So the whole idea is this: wherever table you are going to be working with, you have to be assigned to those tables. So what you can actually do is this: you can create up to like 1,000 tables, and have people assigned permanently to a table, so that you don't have to assign or reassign them anymore. So that you have as many tables as possible and you have people assigned to those tables. So if you hire a waitress today, you create a table, maybe 10 tables or 20 tables, and assign those tables to her. I forget
So
about
she'll be working with 10 tables.
Yeah, 10 tables, yes. Or depends on the setup, you know. If she can work with 10 tables, she can work with 5 tables, she can work with 20 tables. Here,
Depending on the number assigned to you.
here another waiter again. You create a new set of tables and assign those tables to the new waiter so that you don't need to start going back and forth, assigning and reassigning. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Cynthia, do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, so it could be cumbersome for you to always assign and reassign. So next thing, what we just do is this. We hire somebody today. By the time we start creating Lagos Bistro account, the real account, you know, we just say, okay, each waitress by default, you will have 10 tables. So what it even does is that it even restricts them to the amount of load they can even carry at every time. So they don't even get confused. So as they progress within the organization, say a new waitress now, give her only like 5 tables. When she starts doing better, she's more comfortable, you can give her another 5 tables. The ones that are experienced, you can give them 10 tables. You can say that, you know what, nobody gets more than 10 tables because the more tables you get, the more confused you become,
Right.
you know? So this is a way to manage, these people. You manage them properly. So as you hire a waitress, as you onboard the waitress, you create the tables. Now, Cynthia, who's going to be doing the onboarding process? Who's going to be? I think one of the things I would probably do is that I'll probably work with one of you has to work with me, and I will run that person through an onboarding cycle. You know, so that from the moment this person says, "Okay, we have hired this person, let's start onboarding this person," and I'll tell you exactly how to create the person's account, give the person username and password, create a table POS profile, and give the person a particular slot. Let them run with it. But for now, this is basically now this training that we are having now. I'm going to put it on the Refresh Solutions um, page so that everybody can always go there and go and watch it to understand what we're talking about. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a call. Sorry. By onboarding, you mean creating profile, adding more tables to waiters, rescheduling them, and all of that, right?
No, onboarding is actually, when you hire a waiter or a waitress, creating them on the system first. That's onboarding. Then when you create them on the system, then you now assign them to a POS profile. Then you now assign them to a table.
Like making them a
Okay.
user.
Yes, making them a user and giving them permissions.
Okay.
Now, another
That's
thing
really
again I want to say is this. You can create a waitress and create all the tables for her. Now, I remember I told you about the restaurant table group. You know, say I want to create a table group called okay, Lagos Bistro. Do they have something upstairs? Do they have upstairs bar or something, or do they have an outside bar or whatever it is? Let's say outside.
yes, they
Yes, we
have.
have.
Okay, outside lounge. And I say Lagos Bistro, restaurant, Lagos Bistro, tables. So remember the tables ended at 321. So what I will probably do is I'll probably want to create I'll probably want to look for another table that would let me see. Okay, my best bet is but if I pick any of these tables now, I would automatically take them away from another table. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if I say I take
And
Lagos,
the same can be in tables.
what do you say?
Like one table can be under two groups at the same time, right?
No, you can't be working at the outside lounge and at the same time. Okay, no, you can. No. You can actually do that. So let's even do it. Let's even do that now.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
What I
So
wanted to say is like that upstairs lounge. If there's an upstairs dining table, are you still going to assign 1 to 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Downstairs lounge, or you coming with a different number entirely?
wait, come again. I didn't get you.
Like the upstairs lounge now, there are going to be tables assigned there with numbering. The downstairs lounge too has their own numbers. The restaurant has their own numbers. Are you saying after you create the table now, you know you have 1 to 300? Are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Now, you know you have 1 to 300. Are you saying the numbering is going to be different or the same?
Okay.
Like the onset one, are we going to go
let
from
us
like
do it. Let us do it live now. Let us do it live. This is Lagos
Okay.
Bistro. Listen, whatever we're going to do, I don't want to say yes or no, but I want us to be able to test out whatever it is that you are saying. I just created a new restaurant group called Outside Lounge, and I've added Lagos Bistro 321 to it, and that's the same what I assigned to Cynthia initially.
Yeah, for 10 tables.
Yeah, so I'm going to click on save. Now it's not 10 tables. It is one table that can take 10 people. Not, you know what I'm saying? So it means
Okay.
that you can actually take 10, you can manage 10 people on one table, not 10 tables. So Cynthia, what you need to do now is refresh your stuff and let us see what you are seeing. Can you see outside lounge on your?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's there.
Okay. Please, can you send a screenshot? And post it here. Post it on the group. I just created a group for us. Let me see it on the group. Send a screenshot and post it on the group.
Okay. Okay.
Or the number one.
All right. So what this means is that. Okay. So it has outside lounge and then Lagos Bistro. All right, cool. So what this means is that you can actually have access to different parts of the of the restaurant. Does that make sense? So you can be working
Depending on the one you are permitted to.
Yes, but you are limited to a certain number of tables. Whatever they say, for instance, you might be covering outside lounge and covering main bar. So you have access to those places. You can take orders in those places. Am I making any sense?
Yes. You can have access to any table, irrespective of the group, whether outside or whether Lagos Bistro, just wherever, provided you have the permission, right? Can be assigned whether it's outside lounge or down.
Once you have been assigned to a table, that table can be represented anywhere. So for instance, now, if I create tables from 1 to 10, that's what tables from 1 to 10. I can create a table group called outside lounge. I can create a table group called inside lounge. And that 1 to 10 can be represented outside lounge and inside lounge, the same 1 to 10. But nobody, because it has been assigned to you, nobody else can be assigned to 1 to 10, whether it's inside lounge or outside lounge. Does that make sense?
Come down, come again, repeat that again.
Okay. I create tables 1 to 10. This is just creating tables. Then I now create table groups. A table group outside lounge, I create it. I create another table group called Lagos Bistro. Lagos Bistro. These are 2 table groups now. If you look at Cynthia's phone or tablet, you will see that she has 2 table groups. She has outside lounge and she has Lagos Bistro. Now, if I assign 10 tables to her, I assign 10 tables to Cynthia. All I need to do is to assign just 10 tables. Those 10 tables can be replicated inside and outside. So by default, she now has 20 tables. But on the back end, only 10 tables were actually created or assigned to her. Does that make sense?
Not exactly.
Okay, if you notice, this Lagos Bistro 321, I did not create it again. I just added it to outside lounge. And you're now seeing 21 twice on your screen. Can you see that you can see 21 twice?
Yes, I saw it.
So I didn't create another one. So if I create a third table group, say upstairs bar, and I add Lagos Bistro 321 to it, you will see it on your screen again. But we did not create another table.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is
So
this.
does it mean that these tables are still the same? Like that 21, for instance. Does it mean that the 21 I'm seeing under Lagos Bistro, the 21 I'm seeing under Outside Lounge, are they the same table?
Okay, so it's very simple.
Or do they represent different tables?
So it's very simple. You have your phone. Let us test it. So place an order on one table and place the order on another table. And let us see what happens. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to then, another thing I'm going to actually show you guys is how all this thing works with the back end. So I'm going to add a table to this outside lounge. I'm going to add, let me see which table I have on my own. So I can see, okay, 81.
You said I should place an order from the item list.
Just place an order. No, go to the table and place an order.
Okay, it's telling me to select a customer.
Yeah, select the customer.
Okay, I selected unit. Okay.
So let's see. Let's go to. Let's come here. So let's see what she's doing live, so we can actually see what's going on. What's this? Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, Cynthia, what's up? Okay, Mr. John, right? You took an order for Mr. John, all right? Cynthia, I can't hear you.
Have you placed the order?
She's placed the order now, Mr. John. Let's see.
No, she didn't. She has not placed the order.
Okay, let's see who placed this order now. Somebody just Eunice. Somebody used Eunice account.
Okay, is from the staffs.
Okay, so Eunice placed an order 3 minutes ago. 21,000 naira. Third Milan Pizza Family and Abacha. Table Lagos Bistro 20. Table 20. Time 3:05. Mode of payment, transfer. So you can see that this is all the stories about everything she did on this transaction. You can see everything
Yeah, just now.
just now. Okay, so this is the different open tables that we have here. This is tables that have been closed today. So all these charts, so basically anything that you want to be able to track from the back, just let us know and we'll create the reports here. So you can be looking at what is going on live.
Like with what just happened now with Eunice.
Yeah.
So let's say our shift is scheduled for another person. So if such person makes an order, that's her own her own table that she was supposed to
The person cannot use
make an order for.
cannot use that table now. The person has to be assigned to that table to be able to use that table. The person will have to use their own account. So now, whatever it is that Eunice is doing now, she's doing it based on her own account. So let us even
So all the waiters will have their accounts.
Yes, all of them will have their own account. All the waiters will have their account. That's the whole idea now. That's the only way you can actually track exactly what the waiter is doing. For their account will give them access to sales. That's all.
Okay.
They won't have access.
So this is just only for the department for the waiters.
Yes. So we create a permission called waiters and give them access to only POS and restrict
Okay.
what they can do with the POS. That's all.
Okay.
So their access will be different from, the managers and, the different levels. They won't even
The
have that.
kitchen.
Yes,
Okay.
the kitchen two people have their own access. Totally, the people that are doing inventory, they have their own
Have
access.
their own access.
Totally different. So somebody that is doing inventory now cannot come and say she wants to come and be selling. She won't have access to sales.
Okay.
She can just have access to sales reports and be able to see the reports. But it all boils down to whatever permissions you want to give those people. We can create those permissions.
Okay.
Is Cynthia, were you able to make the sale? Were you able to make?
Sir, so each of those waiters will have their own tablets, or can one person use another tablet to make his or her own order for any table being assigned to them?
If they have to use, they'll have to log out now and log back in now. Once you log in with all they need to do is log in with their own account. That's all. So they'll have to log out and log in with their own account.
Okay.
So you can use the same
So,
tablet, but you have to use your own account to log in, or else if you don't log
the
in with
account
your
of
account,
another person.
you're going to be added to that person's sales. So once they have their own individual accounts, they will have to log in with their account, but use the same tablet.
Okay. But in in a scenario, in a scenario where there is much crowd and there is network failure, what will one do in such position if one tablet is not receiving good network signal, and to use the other person's own, there will be problem.
And that's an internal control system that is, and moreover, like I said, we are working towards, before they
Offline.
finish their training, by the time they finish their training and they set up their BOM and everything, the offline mode
Yes.
should be up and running. So we
Okay,
are
sir.
working towards creating the offline mode, So within the next week, we should have offline mode working. Now, of course, even with offline mode, sometimes the network, the Wi-Fi can even disappear. And you know that the tablet works on Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So if there's an issue, then you have to create an internal control system on how to manage the issue. That's not a software problem. That's now a Lagos Bistro problem.
Yeah.
So amongst them, they need to find a way. If there's no network, if it's not printing, what do we do? Do we accept, backup or whatever it is? Or now, another thing again is that the sales can actually be taken from the back end. You can punch in the sales from the back end, in the event that, you can punch it from the back end. The only problem is that if you put it from the back end, you can do it from the back end. All these things you are seeing on their phone. Now, I will show you, let me even show you something. Let me even show you something. Apart from the app itself that they are using, they can also use this. Can you see this?
Okay, I'm seeing, yes.
So this is like the one they use in restaurants on the POS. No doubt when they have, instead of using tablets, they use the computer and they press it. So when you see green, it means that there's, available quantity 103. That means they have something to sell. If you see red, -4.
-4.
You don't have anything they're selling, So this is another one they can actually use. So if they don't want to use tablets, they want to use desktop, they can use this one to take orders too. This is what Booker Hut, the restaurants like Amala Point now. Amala Point can use this one,
Okay. So, then, sir, about these permissions, the the waiters, the accountants, the kitchen, they will all have their own permissions.
Oh yes, now. So let's look at roles. Let's go to user list. Now, see the different users here. Who am I speaking with? Is this Franklin or who am I talking to?
Yes, Franklin, sir.
Okay, so Franklin, this is your account now. I come here, your profile, I gave you waiter. And as a waiter, all you have is you have a POS user. You know, they gave you some other sales manager, restaurant manager, sales user. And that's because of the fact that because we are doing testing and we want you to have access to certain things, that's why we put those things here. Normally, all you're going to have here is POS user. And if you come to POS user, you click on POS user, it's going to show you exactly, you know, what and what, the limits of what you can do here. You know, so you can create invoice, you can close POS, read, write, submit. You cannot cancel, you cannot delete. You can see all these things here. You cannot print. So these are the limits to what a POS user can do. Then if you come to the restaurant manager, you see master manager has more permissions.
Yeah, yes.
Restaurant table, restaurant menu, POS invoice, can create all these things. Submit. You can even delete. Now, the only thing that they put here that you cannot delete POS invoice. They didn't give him that permission. You cannot delete. You know, so there are different permission levels here.
Yeah, for each department.
For each department, and we can create as much as possible. You know. So with Lagos Bistro, we're not giving them HR. What we're giving them is just for them to do. We're not giving them HR. We're not giving them payroll. We're just going to give them the basic accounting, inventory, point of sale. That's what we're giving to them. If they want anything extra, we will bill them extra for it.
Okay, sir. And so about the app, how are we going to go about it? Me and Mr. Francis, don't know how we'll go about with the app. Is it really compulsory that we should have access to it? Can we use the normal desktop that we normally use to log into the sites?
Okay, this is going to expire now. Let me create another link and we'll continue.
Okay, sir.
All right.